Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Anja, if you didn't know, and I make beauty videos here. Mostly I also do talk about anxiety and chronic illness because I have CFS, or I'm in the process of being diagnosed with it. But today I've been holding out for this for so long. I'm wearing no makeup today just because I needed to balance this out because I have a gigantic makeup haul. And I want to film today. I have 4 bags and 2 boxes. The majority of this is high-end. There's also a lot of drugstore in here. But I've accumulated this both from when I went to Copenhagen, which was about 2 weeks ago I think, and also from my trip to Ålesund right before that. And I have a couple of items that I picked up after I came home. I'm going to start with the stuff that I picked up after I got home because the Copenhagen part is the most exciting because that's where it's the most of. But I picked up this brush set from Please, which is, I don't know, something like a dollar store. Basically it's a cheap shop where they have a lot of various things. They just started selling Wet n Wild there, which made my heart very happy. But I was there with my dad and I saw they had these brushes and I tried one of them in the store, not on my face because that's gross. But I tried one of the brushes on my face. Of course they fall out. And they are really comfortable. I was a bit surprised at first because the handle it feels a bit flimsy, but the brush is super dense and really nice. I have not tried this because I'm planning on doing a first impression on these brushes and stuff, but they feel really nice and firm. They feel beautiful and soft against the skin, so I'm excited to see if they work. And the other thing, which is why I've been holding up filming this for a couple of days now, because I wanted to film this the second I got home from my cabin, which was on Monday. Today's Friday, but I've been waiting for this. This is the Cover FX Custom Enhancer drops, I think, in the shade Moonlight, because I ordered this when I was at my cabin, so I've been waiting for this to come, and this is beautiful. This is the only product, except for I think one other product in here, that I've tried from everything that I bought. A lot of them are new products to me. This is new, I've never used these before. But I tested this out today, I swatched it on my hand and it's beautiful, so I'm super excited to use this. I also have some samples. I have the Beyond Accent Volumizing Shampoo and Conditioner, as well as the Fast Aid Beauty Face Cleanser. Next up I have the stuff that has been purchased in Ålesund, as well as the time between Ålesund and Copenhagen. And I bought the Maybelline Fit Me foundation, the matte and poreless one in 110, because 110 is the shade that matches me. I've never tried this foundation, but I do love the original formula before they sort of split it into the dewy and what and the matte and poreless. But I wanted to try the matte and poreless because I've been looking for a matte foundation, and this colour is a pretty good match for me. Also in Ålesund I picked up the Clinique Redness Solution Daily Relief Cream, and this is a moisturiser. You can probably see I have a lot of redness on my skin, and I've been recently wanting to sort of tone it down without makeup, so that I don't always have to feel self-conscious when I'm not wearing makeup. So I wanted to pick this up. I've been wanting to pick this up for a couple of years now, but it's really expensive, so I'm excited to try this. I'm gonna, because it says here that it's gonna, you know, visibly reduce redness over, I think it's 4 weeks, so I'm gonna properly give this a go starting Monday I think, and I'm really excited to see if it works. I've used it so far a couple of times just to see if my skin likes it, just to make sure I'm not breaking out or anything because of it, and so far everything is good. I also picked up the Aqua Derma Age Defense Eye Gel because I am running out of my eye cream, which is the number 7 one. I actually think I emptied it yesterday, which, you know, sucks because I really like it, but this one looks like this, and I've never tried this before, but I tried this. It's just a squeezy tube. I tried this at the Boots pharmacy, which is where I picked it up, and it felt really nice on my hand, so I'm excited to see if this works. 2 samples here. These are perfume samples. This is the Versace Bright Crystal Absolute, and I think I've tried this one before because I've smelled both of these, by the way, and I like this one a lot. Same with this one. This is the Lacoste L1212 Poreless Sparkling, I think it's called. This also, they both smell really nice. Then off to what I bought in Copenhagen, and I have 2 bags here, and these are only the drugstore parts. I have a Sephora bag, which is pretty big and pretty heavy, and then I have this bag, which is pretty big for only 2 products in it, but these are the high-end stuff and I'm going to take those last. I just want to start with all of the drugstore stuff, and I have them split in 2 bags because I have purchased it at 2 separate places. This bag, which is the biggest and the heaviest, was bought at Marta's, which I only have the Marta's bags left. But this stuff I'm going to start with, this is Revlon. I purchased at Magazine du Nord, I think. So with Revlon, there was a couple of things I wanted to try out. One of them was the Revlon Colorstay, and this is the combination oily one in the shade 110, which I believe is the lightest shade. I've heard so many good things about this foundation and I've been wanting to pick it up for a really long time. I also picked up a primer. You're going to see a lot of weird products here because I've basically picked up enough product for a full face first impressions, which I'm going to be filming tomorrow or the day after, or sometime in the future. But I picked up a primer, and this is the Revlon Photoready Perfecting Primer, and this felt really nice on my skin. I've tried out a lot of different primers and this felt like the sort of consistency and texture of the primers that I am currently using and liking. Next up I have a brow product here, and this is the Revlon Brow Fantasy in Dark Blonde, and it has a pencil on one end, and I'm kind of particular with my pencils because I like them to be more on the hard side than the soft side, because when they're too soft I just find that they don't work with my eyebrows. It just ends up looking too messy. And it has a brow lining on the side, and I'm excited to see if this works because I do like the idea of having, you know, 2-in-1 and having everything in just one place. So I'm excited to see if this is any good. The last 3 things are lip products. I have 2 of the matte balm things, the crayons. I have the shade 225, which is sultry, which is a beautiful, I don't know, rosy red, mauvey dark kind of colour. I really like it. And I also picked up the shade 255, which is Enchanting, which is just, yikes, which is a really nice nude, and I'm excited to try these because I've heard that this formula is really good. I also picked up the Ultra HD lip colour in the shade Seduction, and this looks really nice. I haven't heard too much about this product on YouTube, so I wanted to pick it up. This looks really nice, it smells really nice, and it's a colour that I think I'm gonna like. So the majority of this is Rimmel. There's also some NYX in here, and I think one L'Oreal product or something. These are the Rimmel Stay Matte pressed powders, and I have 2 in the shade Transparency because this is my all-time favourite powder. And I picked up one originally and then I went back and picked up a backup just in case, because I go through one of these in about 2-3 months and I want to have, you know, 2. That way I know I'm set for a couple of months. I can't find a name here, but it's the Rimmel's First Sculpting Palette. Not sure if that's the name, but it's by Kate. It's the Kate Moss line. And it has a beautiful looking blush. The bronzer shade actually looks like it could be nice for bronzer and contour. And if you're curious, the only product I've swatched is the one from Kix, the Cover FX drops. Other than that, there's only one product here that I've opened. The other things, some of them are swatched in stores, but this I haven't touched. But this bronzer looks like it actually could be really nice for my skin tone. Not sure if you can see that there. And there's a really pretty highlight here, so I'm super excited to see if this is any good. I've heard good things about it. It's in the shade Coral Glow, by the way, which is 002. Next up I have 2 foundations. I have the Lasting Finish 24 Hour with Comfort Serum in the shade 100, which is Ivory, and this is the lightest shade that they had. I think it is the lightest shade that they made. If it's not, tell me down below where I can get a lighter one, because I can already tell that this is going to be a bit dark on me when it's not summer. But I do want to try, and I'm excited to see, because I've heard that this is a really good foundation, that it lasts, you know, through everything. And the other one is the Rimmel Wake Me Up foundation, which has been a favourite of so many YouTubers for I don't know how many years, like a lot. And I wanted to pick this up when I was in London. I wanted to pick this up, but I didn't. I'm not sure why. I just spent my money on other things. This looks like it's a really nice, because I know this is a sort of dewy finish, and it looks like it has got shimmer in the bottle, which doesn't actually alarm me that well. I'm excited to see how this looks on the skin, because I've heard that it's a really pretty dewy finish foundation. And I also picked up the concealer. This is in the shade Ivory, and this is in the shade Light Porcelain. This I think is going to match me a bit better than this one. You can already see there's a bit of a colour difference there. But I'm excited to try them both. And also the concealer, because I've heard good things about the concealer as well. Next I have an eye primer here, and this is the Rimmel Magnifies an eye primer, and I wanted an eye primer. I'm going to show, I have another one that I bought, and because I'm doing a sort of full face first impression, I was also, with buying a lot of the stuff that I've had on my wish list for years, I was also looking for products like a primer, setting spray and eye primer that I would need for a full face of first impressions. And I also tried to pick brands that aren't very easily available in Norway, such as, you know, L'Oreal, Maybelline, NYX. I went for Rimmel and Revlon and some high-end brands at Sephora instead, because I can't get them anywhere in Norway. I have to order them online from either Sephora, the American website, which is going to cost me a lot of money, and I have to pay customs and stuff. So I picked up a lot of stuff that are drugstore from, you know, Rimmel, as you can see, because I can't get Rimmel very easily in Norway. That actually feels like a really nice primer, and I'm super excited to try it. I haven't actually heard a lot about this, but it feels really nice. It kind of feels a bit stiff and tacky on my hand, which I do like, so excited to see how that works. I have a couple of NYX items here. The first one is the only product that I actually used whilst I was in Copenhagen, and this is the NYX No Filter powder in the shade Alabaster. And this is a beautiful powder. It has almost got like a luminous skin-like finish. It's not super matte like the Rimmel Stay Matte, but this sort of has a bit more of a luminous finish to it, so I think it looks beautiful on the skin. Another product from NYX here is the HD Blush in the shade Taupe, and I swatched this on my hand after I came from Sephora, I think, so I had, you know, my hands full of swatches anyway. But I'd swatched a foundation, which I am going to show that I did buy. A foundation that was super pale that I do think is going to match me really well in the winter. And I've heard a lot of, you know, things about this, that this works, and of course I just managed to dug my nail into that. I've heard that this is a really good contour shade, and I did swatch it over the top. It's actually is really soft over the top of that foundation. Looks a bit dark there. I managed to swatch it over the eyeshadow primer, but it actually looks like it's going to be a really nice contour shade, because it's not super warm, but it's not really grey. It's a little bit, you know, of a greyish taupe kind of shade, but it looks like it's going to be a really nice contour colour, which is why I picked it up. The other product from NYX is a eyeliner, and this is the Faux Whites Inner Eye Brightener in the shade Baby Powder, which is, I'm not sure how you can tell, but it's a baby blue shade. And NYX has two various lines of eyeliners. They have more. They have the Faux Whites and the Faux Blacks, which are alternatives to white and black eyeliner. And this is a brightening pencil that you put on your inner rim. I forgot I was wearing glasses there, sorry. You put on your inner rim, and it's meant to brighten up the eyes, and they have a lot of different shades. I think it was like 8 different shades or something. I originally wanted the purple one, but they were out, so the baby blue one looked really pretty, which is why I picked it up. But it felt really nice and creamy on my hand, so I'm excited to see how it looks in the eyes. Next is another product from Rimmel, go figure, and this is the Insta Fix and Glow 2-in-1 primer and setting spray, because as I said, I was also shopping in for a first, you know, full face first impressions with all of the products from Copenhagen, and I realised at the last day that I had forgotten to pick up a setting spray, so I picked this up at the drugstore. I have not heard anything about this on the internet, so I'm not sure if it's good or bad, but I'm excited to try it out and see if, you know, if it works. The last product from Rimmel here is the Exaggerate lip pencil, and I've heard that these are really good lip pencils, and this is in the shade Addiction, which just looks like it's gonna be my kind of shade. It's a really nice natural brownie pink. Only 2 more products here. One is a nail polish, and this is from Sally Hansen. It's the most beautiful blue colour ever. I love these kinds of bright sort of cobalt blues, and this is in the shade New Suede Shoes. I was going to paint my nails before I did the video, but then I just decided to sit down and film, so I might paint my nails later, so you will see how it looks on. But this just looks beautiful, and I've tried the Sally Hansen nail polishes before and I really like it. And the last product is a L'Oreal Color Riche eyeshadow in the shade Nude, which is a really pretty bronzy taupe shade. This again was sort of a last minute purchase when I realised that I haven't actually got a shimmery eyeshadow for an eyeshadow look if I want to do something with shimmer. And this is a shade that I really like, and a shade that I know I'm going to get a lot of wear out of because it's straight up my alley. And lastly, I have all of my high-end stuff. I'm going to start with what I bought at Ilum, which is kind of like a department store where they have... It struck me as where they have mostly high-end brands. I wasn't there for too long because I just popped in to buy a product from Hourglass, and I saw they had Nars there and I had to check that out. The first product here, which was the one I was gonna go in and buy, is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting powder. I love the packaging of this. And this is in the shade Ethereal Light, which is a really pretty pale. I kind of don't want to touch this because it looks so nice. It's basically a white powder with a slight hint of yellow to it, it looks like. Kind of strikes me as a bit similar to the NYX one I showed, where it's not super matte like the Rimmel Stay Matte powder, but it has a bit of sheen to it, which is why, you know, it's called Ambient Lighting powder. But I'm super excited to try this because I've heard tons of good things about these powders, and I have the palette, which I love, and I've been wanting to pick this up ever since I sort of noticed that all of those shades are a bit too dark for me. And the other product here is the Nars Soft Matte Complete Concealer in the shade Light 1 Chantilly. And it was between this and the Radiant Creamy Concealer, but the lady at the counter, I was sort of asking which one do you recommend, and she recommended me this one. Oh yeah, that looks like it's going to be a good shade. And I like the consistency of it as well. It's super pale and I'm super pale, so I think this is going to work. The only product I've tried before from Nars is the Shea Glow foundation, and I have a bit of a love-hate relationship with it. I don't really love it as a lot of other people do, but I have high hopes for this because it looks really nice and it feels like it's going to be something that I'm going to like. I then have two more products that I bought from Magazine du Nord, and these are high-end makeup items, both of which are from Urban Decay. The first one is a Vice lipstick, and this is in the shade 1993, and I absolutely love the packaging of this. This is a comfort matte, and I was swatching tons of different shades and stuff, but this just, you know, struck me as one that I was going to love because it's brown. And I've been really into sort of dark brown and sort of nudish brown shades, and this just like, it spoke to me. I was like, I can't leave you. You're mine now. The other product here is the eyeshadow primer potion, just in the original one. And I've heard tons of good things about this, and I purposely did not pick it up when I was in the US because I've heard a couple of, you know, decent drugstore options that I wanted to try out, and I had a current favourite at that time, which was the e.l.f. one, which is a lot cheaper than this one. But this was before I bought the Rimmel one, but I just thought to myself, I need an eyeshadow primer, and this is, you know, I've heard tons of good things about this. Then for the final step, or bag, in this case, this is my Sephora bag. And I went crazy. And the weird thing is, I went to Sephora 3 times. The first time was the first full day we were there, where I basically swatched up both my hands, but I actually didn't come out with anything. The second day I came back and bought a lot of this stuff, all of it actually, and at that evening I opened one of them and it was empty. The box was empty. So the next day I went back there and returned it, basically the empty box, and said, is it supposed to be empty? Because I paid for product that wasn't there. So I got a new box, thankfully. So this is the madness that is my Sephora purchases. I'm going to start off with mascara because that's just what I have at the top. I have picked up the Benefit Roller Lash because I've heard tons of good things about this one, and I like the idea of a mascara that's going to keep my lashes, you know, curled, because my lashes are super stubborn and they prefer to be pointed, you know, straight ahead or down a little bit, which makes me look more tight than I am. So I'm super excited to try this because I've heard tons of good things about it. And this is the sample that I got for the purchase, and this is the Sephora Outrageous Curl Mascara. And I actually think I've heard good things about this one as well, but I'm not sure if it's this one or if it's another one. I'm just, you know, mixing them up. But I'm going to try this one and I'm going to see if I like it or not. This is the box that was empty, and this is from Kat Von D, and it's the Bow and Arrow look, which has a miniature liquid lipstick in the Bow and Arrow one, as well as a mini tattoo liner, because I wanted to try both the tattoo liner as well as the liquid lipstick formula to see if I liked it. But I wasn't that keen on purchasing a big, you know, full size of either because my budget was kind of stretched already. So I liked the idea of this little kit, and they are kind of adorable. I really like this shade as well. I was originally going to plan on picking up Lolita, but after having swatched this one next to Lolita, this one struck me as more my kind of shade. And the tattoo liner I've heard tons of good things about, so I'm super excited to try it. Next up, I have the foundation that I purchased, which was the Marc Jacobs Remarkable foundation. I have been on the lookout for a full coverage foundation, and the only one sort of that comes to meet my expectations is the Urban Decay All Nighter. but that I've heard that oxidizes like crazy. I might pick it up anyway at a later date to see. But I've heard really good things about this one. It has insane coverage. This is in the shade 10, which is Ivory Light. And this is super pale. When swatched on my hand, which was tanned when we were there, this pretty much just looked white, which I was a bit sort of unsure. But I know that they have, I think it's a 12 or something like that. They have basically a second shade which is a bit darker than this. But they didn't have that in store. They sort of jumped up to the next one, which was way too dark. So I went out on Lim and bought this because I do think it's going to match me, and I did test it on my neck, and my neck is always pale, and it actually looked pretty good. This is the foundation that I had swatched. Let me just grab it here. The NYX powder over the top, and this looks beautiful on top of this. So I'm excited to try that combination, you know, all over my face to see if it looks as good as it did on my hand. I've got only 3 products left to talk about, and the first one is from Becca, and this is the Shimmering Skin Perfector in the shade Pearl, which is the lightest one, and it's pretty much a white highlighter shade. And I went with this one because, as I said, I'm super pale, and you can see it there, and I did actually swatch this over the Marc Jacobs foundation, and it looked beautiful. So I'm super excited to see how this will look on my skin. So my final 2 products are both from Kat Von D, and this is the Shade Night contour kit for face and for eyes. And I was kind of shocked with myself when I came home from the US and I hadn't actually picked up anything from Kat Von D. But this is the face palette, you can see outside as well. I'm probably only going to stick to sort of this corner over here, these 3 colours mostly. This is the only shade that's probably going to be a contour. This is a bit warmer in tone, so it's probably going to be more of a bronzer on my skin. And I'm not sure any of these lighter ones at the bottom here is going to actually work as a highlight. I might be able to use the yellow one for sort of correcting under the eyes a little bit, but these 2, the lightest 2 mixed together, might be able to use, you know, under my eyes to brighten a little bit. This shade right here is way too dark to be any form of highlight on my skin tone. I may be able to use it as an eyeshadow, like a transition shade or something, and this is way too dark to be a contour on my skin unless I'm super tan. I don't think I've ever been that tan in my life. But I might be able to use it as a eyeshadow. And this is the eye palette here, and I'm really excited for that red shade right there. I was looking at whether I was going to pick up this or the 4 palette, the smaller ones, in the shade Rust, which was full of really nice sort of red tones. But I'm really excited for this sort of 4 quad thing over here with these shades, as well as this one. I can probably tell right away that the middle part is probably going to be used the least because I'm not really that into grey shades and stuff on my eyes, but I think that could work on my eyes as well as this one, and that could be a really nice highlight. But I'm not that big into black, but let me actually see the quality. Okay, that feels like a really good eyeshadow, as I said. Yeah, that's a really nice eyeshadow. I haven't actually touched these, and that right there is the red shade I'm super excited about. I am super excited to use this because I love matte eyeshadow. Yes, I do love a good shimmery eyeshadow, but I also really like matte eyeshadow that's really good quality, and I've heard that this is an amazing palette, so I'm excited to try and use this. If you've tried any of the products that I've shown, do tell me what you think of them down below, whether that's positive or negative. If you've got any tips on how to use any of them, do let me know. And if there's any products that you want me to do a look on, whether a blog post, a video, an Instagram thing, just so you can see how they look, or you want me to do a tutorial with any of these products specifically, do let me know down in the comments below, and I will make sure to, you know, get to it if that's anything that I think I can do. But thank you so much for watching. I will see you very, very soon. Bye!